Something massive is happening in crypto right now, and most people are sleeping on it. While everyone is distracted by Bitcoin headlines, institutional money is quietly flooding into Solana at record pace. In fact, demand has been so high that investors had to be cut back from recent funding rounds. And here's the kicker. Solana's fundamentals today are far stronger than they were at its price peak, which could be the clearest signal yet that the next explosive move is coming. Let's break it down. Solana's total value locked, TVL, just hit an all-time high of $12.1 billion. For context, that's higher than when Solana set its all-time price record earlier this year, and far above its levels during the last bull cycle in 2021. TVL is the ultimate health check for a blockchain. It shows how much real capital is building and moving on the network. The fact that TVL is hitting new highs while price still sits 23% below its all-time high tells us one thing. The fundamentals are ahead of the price. Historically, when that happens, the market catches up fast. And the money backing this story is no joke. Forward Industries, a NASDAQ-listed company trading under the ticker Ford, not the carmaker, but a real publicly traded firm, has just raised $1.65 billion to build a Solana treasury. Kyle Samani of Multicoin Capital, one of the most vocal Solana bulls, is leading the charge. He even put in $25 million of his own money alongside the fundraise, proving this isn't just talk, it's conviction. The demand was off the charts, with billions raised in just 2 weeks, and institutional investors around the globe are knocking on the door, eager for access to Solana. Now, zoom out. Legendary investor Mike Novogratz has already said it. Billions are coming to Solana. Why? Because as the US and global markets move toward tokenization of real-world assets, stocks, bonds, commodities, Wall Street needs a blockchain that can handle the load. Solana currently processes over 14 billion transactions per day. That's more than the combined daily transactions of equities, fixed income, commodities, and forex markets. Put simply, Solana is built for global finance. And with regulators like the SEC calling for on-chain settlement, the stars are aligning for Solana to be the backbone of tokenized markets. This is why some are calling 2025 the season of Sol. Alongside this treasury announcement, multiple Solana-focused funds are launching, new ETFs are filing, and Solana continues to prove it can handle not just NFTs or meme coins, but real financial infrastructure at global scale. If Solana can clear the $250 resistance level, there may be no ceiling in sight. But Solana isn't the only story right now. While Sol is grabbing headlines, several altcoins with strong fundamentals are quietly positioning themselves for breakout growth. And if you've been around crypto long enough, you know these quiet builders often deliver some of the biggest surprises when the market rotates. Take Propy, for example. Propy has just become MiCA compliant, and that's no small feat. MiCA, the Markets in Crypto Assets Framework, is the European Union's landmark regulatory framework for digital assets. It's widely considered the gold standard for global crypto regulation. For Propy, this compliance unlocks an enormous pocket of demand in Europe's regulated markets. Why does that matter? Because Propy isn't just another DeFi play, it's building tokenized real estate solutions. Real estate is one of the largest asset classes on Earth, and Propy is now among the very few crypto projects worldwide that can operate fully within a regulated environment. That means clarity, durability, and trust, all the ingredients needed for real-world adoption at scale. It's not hard to imagine a future where buying property in Europe, or even globally, happens seamlessly through blockchain rails, and Propy is carving out a first-mover advantage. Then there's Metis, a project that is tackling a problem most people don't even realize exists yet: centralized sequencers. Recently, SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce warned that Ethereum Layer 2 chains with centralized sequencers may face being classified as exchanges, which would force them into heavy regulation. That's a looming risk for a huge chunk of the Ethereum L2 ecosystem. Metis, however, is way ahead of the curve. By leading the introduction of decentralized sequencers, it is effectively future-proofing itself against this regulatory overhang. This positions Metis as one of the most resilient and sustainable Ethereum scaling plays out there. And as capital rotates back into Ethereum ecosystems, projects that can show long-term regulatory resilience are going to be the ones institutions pay attention to. And then there's Avalanche, AVAX, a chain that some people counted out after its earlier hype cycles, but which is quietly roaring back to life. Its flagship DEX, Blackhole, is doing serious numbers. Over $1 billion in trading volume and $135 million locked in TVL. That's not just noise, that's traction. Even more eye-catching are the yields. Liquidity providers on Blackhole are seeing APRs ranging from 400% all the way up to 900%. Now, sure, those sky-high APRs are tied to riskier pools, but the fact that wrapped AVAX and wrapped Bitcoin pools are still delivering triple-digit yields is a clear sign that there's real demand flowing into Avalanche DeFi again. And remember, capital rotation always comes in waves. First Bitcoin, then Ethereum, then large-cap alts, and then ecosystems like Avalanche. With on-chain activity heating up and incentives firing, Avalanche might be setting up for another strong leg. And beyond altcoins, let's not forget the giant in the room, Bitcoin. Wealthy families, sovereign funds, and even policymakers are openly discussing a strategic Bitcoin reserve to hedge national debt. Michael Saylor's theory that Bitcoin could 10x in the next decade is no longer fringe, it's entering mainstream conversation. The world's richest people are running out of places to park their capital, and Bitcoin is becoming the default destination. Scarce, secure, borderless, it's winning by design. The writing is on the wall. Crypto adoption is no longer if, it's when. Solana's institutional explosion, Propy's regulatory leap, Metis' decentralization push, AVAX's ecosystem growth, and Bitcoin's mass adoption all point to one thing. We are entering a new era of crypto market expansion. So, what does this mean for you? It means now is the time to pay attention before the crowd catches up. We're watching the next winners being chosen in real time, and the capital is already flowing. If you're serious about crypto and don't want to be left behind, hit that like button, subscribe with the bell on, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Solana will become the backbone of tokenized global finance? Or will Ethereum L2s catch up? Because whether you're Team Sol, ETH, AVAX, or Pro, one thing is clear. Billions are coming into crypto, and the next wave has already begun.